Hello, Michael.
Hi, friends.
You're back, Michael. You're back.
I have returned.
It sounds like you returned with a cold.
Ah, yes, the entire family returned with the same souvenir from this trip.
Oh, fun, 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 fun. Well, I wish I
Indeed.
could blame the weather, but you weren't here for the weather.
We actually avoided the weather here in leaving and then avoided the weather there in coming home.
Well, it's been a rainy one, and in California, that means you have to talk about how it was a rainy one.
Ah,
Sure
yes,
do.
indeed. Poor
You missed,
drivers grumble.
yeah, well, you missed about, in our neck of the woods, it was 2.5 inches. My parents' neck of the woods was about 4 inches. JJ, I don't know how San Diego was, but
Yeah, I didn't count. It was pretty dang wet though. Like we got
yeah,
a lot of rain, man.
it's been a scarce commodity these last couple of
Yeah,
years, but
but it's also not done yet. We're getting more towards the end of the week.
shouldn't be nearly as much. Not
No.
concerned like I was the other day when I was out there digging berms into my mud pit of a yard, because we did not get the concrete in time. So that's a whole new issue to deal with the pool, etc.
Yeah, that doesn't seem awesome.
Yeah. It sounds like we all weathered the storm all right.
I'll say, hey, you know
Indeed.
what happens sometimes when there's a lot of rain?
You get snow in the mountains.
That's probably true. I mean, I can't confirm if there was snow in the mountains this time. It was probably cold enough, I guess.
The road gets oily.
That does happen, definitely. I was
I
going
can
to
keep guessing
say
things.
that certain outdoor creatures decide to seek shelter indoors.
Oh, is it
Yes, they do.
ants? Is it ants again?
It was ants again.
Buddy, digital high five. I've got ants as well after the rain.
Truly a blessing to live in this earth where out of nowhere, over within, you're not paying attention, and then within an hour later on Saturday, you just look on the ground and it's like millions of ants. Like,
We
where
don't
did
get
this
the
come from?
millions situation. We get a distinctive area and line. Usually it's one bathroom and one area of the kitchen. This is our third go around with ants in the last month. They have been going to the traps every time, so they go away and die, and then they come back with their new queen and all that sort of stuff. But this specific time, they have come in an area I cannot reach them, and put a trap, and they are coming out of cupboards and cabinets and things like that.
Ooh, that's worse than us.
Yeah. So we have to wait for them to decide to show me where the line is going to be before I can put the traps back down.
Yeah. We found a line and immediately deployed the traps. And then we're like, all right, we know how this goes. We're just gonna wait. And like within an hour, I swear to you, it was so many ants.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I have never seen like it's like a double wide highway, like full ants running back and forth along these lines.
You're like, I don't have enough traps.
Yeah, I know. We deployed 2 or 3, and I have never, our house is not that big. 2 or 3 is a lot for us. And yeah, they were all swarmed by the end of the day. And knock on wood here, it's been a day and a half, and we haven't seen any. So hopefully,
good
Out in front of it.
hopefully we got out in front of it. But yeah, like Andrew says, like it's never permanent. They're just, this is just them biding their time. The groundwater receded. And they're back wherever they were before. And as soon as it rains hard again, they'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Michael, it sounds like it may not have been ant weather in your travels.
No, actually, everything about the travels themselves went really well. We were not impacted by the flight cancellations on the way out, which was lovely. In fact, we got 3 days before we were supposed to leave, we got an email confirming that our flight was indeed happening. So we didn't even have to worry that it might get canceled on us,
Oh man,
midair.
I totally forgot that you were you were weathering the different storm of the travel disruptions.
Yes, yes, we were. So that was a big question mark, kind of hovering over the whole thing, especially because it was projected to be worse yesterday, Monday, when we were coming back, even than when we went out.
Yeah, the flight restriction stuff ended up getting my office in whole bunch of weird ways, cancellations of stuff where we work with the government, obviously, but then also like, oh, certain people were supposed to fly out for meetings or inspections or all sorts of things, and then like all of those just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you guys were able to make it, Michael.
Yeah. So flew out to the East Coast, back to North Carolina to see the family, and went out for a wedding. So I will shout out friend of the pod Will and his lovely
Yeah.
wife Liza for a beautiful wedding weekend, and wishing them all
Nice.
the best.
Beautiful.
Yeah, congrats to them.
Yeah, and family time is always not bad. Always
Yeah.
not bad. Always good. Why did I go to the negative? It's always good.
But yes, it's always good to see family. You know, get away for a few days, have the kiddos get to spend time with the grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I have been traveling, Michael, in a new land that
Oh, okay.
you have not gotten to hear about yet. I have been playing
I'm giving you a small drum roll over here.
Arc Raiders. I've been in the land of Speranza, which is the name of the main village and the hub city in the game.
Hope.
And he has been in the land of supporting generative AI for NPC dialogue.
Oh my God. We had a whole discussion about it last week. I feel somewhat guilty about it.
I had to throw you under the bus a little bit.
Yeah, you know that I'm gonna like be literally anguished over it now the rest of the podcast because I don't have anything good to say about that part of it. There is voice acting in the game, and it is, I guess, some of it generated by AI, and I don't know what to do about that because the game itself is actually pretty good. And maybe they've made enough money now they could go back and take that stuff out and make me feel better, but I doubt that they will. But it's a extraction shooter, Michael, where you go into like a level, you have a mission to come back with 4 or 5 of these things, right? And if you die while you're in there, those 4 or 5 things are left in the level, and
Yeah. Okay.
good luck. You got to go try again.
Yep. They fall with you.
PvP, PvE. You probably have heard of Tarkov. It's not anything like that game, but it's the same genre of game. So
Okay.
um,
So
yeah.
after busting your chops a little, Andy, I do want to dig in here.
Yes.
I have heard some stories about this game.
Okay. All right. I now have stories. It is one of those games where you are going to start to have stories about games that you played. You know what I mean?
You know, are you guys like going in there and being friendly and, you know, saying, oh, don't shoot. And then, you know, helping out? Or
Or
are
griefing.
you guys causing problems?
So when I play solos, I generally play pretty passively. I will help other players. I won't just leave them to die if they're getting attacked or whatever. I'll start shooting the enemies, the arc enemies. But I generally just sort of stick to my thing and just go make a quick run to like I need mushrooms. I'm just going to get mushrooms and I'm running right back out. I'm going to be in and out in 6 minutes. That's all I'm doing, you know? But when we play as a group, um, in 2 and 3 person games, very seldomly do you run into another team that's going to give you a chance to even talk. Very seldomly.
So
We
I guess
do
as soon
talk.
as there's movement, people are
We
already
have
shooting guns.
Yes. We do have microphones and we do use them and we chat to people. Not a lot of people chat back in squad games. Very funny you brought this up though. So like earlier today we were in a squad game and the squad games tend to last quite a bit longer. Each round is a max of 30 minutes. Sometimes you'll drop in and there's only 10 minutes left in the round. Sometimes you'll drop in and it'll be a fresh round and you have 30 minutes. If I'm solo, by the time I hit 8 minutes, I've usually extracted already or died because the thing that I've gone to get is either gone and been looted by somebody else, or I've looted it and I don't want to mess around and not get it for, and run a bunch of solos to do the same thing over and over. But when 3 people go in, you all have different missions, right? So it's like, well, I need to go to this building, and while we're in that building, you have a mission at the next door building, so we'll do that, and then when we're done, near the extract is the third person's mission, so we'll go help them do that, and on the way, we need to kill this, we need to do that, and you start to really build up a checklist of things for everybody to do. The longer you're in there, the more people are running around killing people, and, so, like, today, we needed to go into a building and open a door. And literally, we ran out onto the roof to hop over to the next roof. I walked out the door and I was immediately sniped by somebody that heard us coming. No one ever talked to us, no nothing.
They were just waiting.
Mhm. Yeah. And that is relatively common. Like, we ran up onto a roof on another match earlier today, and these guys were fighting Ark. And, like, in the middle of the fight with the enemies, everyone started turning gun on each other, and it was a mess, and we ended up dead, right? And like they never talked. We talked the whole time trying to get them to like talk to us or whatever. Sometimes you'll come upon 2 teams that are fighting, and it's like, well, yeah, it's probably like in the best interest of gameplay for us to just like kill whoever wins here, right? When they're not prepared. That's the best way to play, kind of in a weird way. But today we ran into people called sheriffs. I don't know if you've heard of this yet.
Mm-mm.
So there are groups now going into games playing, and they're calling themselves sheriffs. And it's like if they hear gunfighting between 2 teams, they'll show up to find out who's griefing who came out guns blazing, and they'll kill them. They only are logging into games to kill other players that are starting fights with other players.
I love that.
Policing, as it were. Yes.
That's
So
fantastic.
we were trying to extract, and we came around a corner, and 2 guys were standing there like, "What's going on? Why are you guys running?" It's like, "Oh, don't shoot us. We're just trying to extract." And they're like, "Yeah, but why? What's all the gunfighting?" It's like, "Well, there's another team behind us who's, we looted this room, and they're trying to get the stuff off of them." And they're like, "All right, cool.
Leave it
We'll
to
see you.
us.
We'll see you later." And it was like, "Oh, okay." And then they went and killed them, and like we were still trying to get past this gigantic robot that was guarding the room, and they're like, oh, you're still here. Do you need help getting past this thing?
Mm-hmm.
So that was fascinating to run into the. I had never run into them before. Somebody else said that they were like, oh, there's a sheriff group, and I was like, oh, what's that? What are you talking about? So the social aspect of the game is definitely developing. It is a lot of fun when you're talking to people in the game. It's funny because they've had prox chat in Warzone, and it's just toxic and gross and disgusting. And the prox chat in this game has been very funny when it happens, and I think it's less than average, but yeah, it's good. It's a little bit of a busy work game, but it's been engaging so far in terms of like the rewards for doing things have seemed to be on par with the doing.
Cool.
Yeah, third person. I love that there's not a lot of like you can kit out with better guns than people and kill them pretty quickly, but like the unfairness level is pretty low in terms of like if they're bad at the game and they have a good gun, you're still going to beat them. And there's no like they sniped me from across the map because they have a scope that I don't have. There's like no scopes on the guns. You just have to be good. You have to be able to see far on your own, you know.
And if someone kills you with that gun, they can take it and you lose it forever, right?
Anything you so there's different types of backpacks you can equip in the game, and some of them have what they call safe pockets, and if you put something in your safe pocket, it is safe, and even if you die, you get it at the end of the extraction.
That's kind of a
So
nice
like
touch.
yeah, so let's say you're trying to go in and unlock this room. Well, you put the key to the room in your safe pocket, and even if you get killed on your way there, you don't lose the key to the room. The world is not over, right? You can just try again. There's a very, very, very forgiving free loadout system in the game where, let's say you don't have any good guns left anymore because you've died too much. Um, you just hit the free loadout button, and they're like, here you go. Here's free guns. Go have fun.
Okay, so it isn't like Tarkov then, where like having a sweet gun is like both the best and the worst thing, because as soon as you die, that gun is gone forever and you're never going to see it again, right?
I think for the casual players, it's pretty unfortunate and disappointing if you lose like a purple level 4 of the best gun in the game, which is called a Venator. Like, I would be sad because I'm not playing enough, but I have watched 1 or 2 streams of like the people that are playing this 8 or 9 hours a day, and they've just got bags full of these good guns, right? They know where to go loot them from, and they're looting them, and they've got a lot of them. So it's not like the game doesn't have them to find and replace. And there is
Gotcha.
crafting. There is crafting in the game. So eventually you can find blueprints to build the best guns. So like even if you can't go loot them, if you eventually find the blueprint for the gun, the materials to build them are not hard to find.
Yeah, so they'll come back to you eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And the ammunition thing from Tarkov, I don't know if you know anything about that, but
No.
so in like Tarkov, like every gun has the real life version of the ammunition. You have to have, if you're shooting 7.62, you have to have 7.62 for that gun. And if it needs special, compression, or if it's like a longer load or whatever, you have to have that specific type of thing, and you have to buy it or you have to craft it or whatever. This is just like light guns, medium guns, heavy guns, energy guns. That's it. So they're separated by class, and the ammunition's all the same, which is pretty forgiving. I've never ever been like, my stash has no ammo. I've definitely run out of ammo in a match and been like, somebody needs to drop me some light ammo because I'm out. But yeah, yeah. So speaking of crafting new hardware, JJ,
Mm-hmm.
our buddy Gabe Newell,
Yeah,
has
His
decided to
personal
craft.
friend.
Yeah, well, he's a listener, I'm sure.
our friend and yours.
I sincerely hope he has a really, really strong plan in place for that company not to completely flounder once he's gone. It
I
runs
don't
on the
know.
beneficence of Gabe Newell.
I don't know how much he does at that company anymore, to be frank. He's like off doing marine research and owning boats and like living in New Zealand. I don't think he like works at Valve.
Well, he has a super yacht. I do know that. So maybe he's, whatever. $500 million super yacht with a submarine garage, by the way.
Yeah, because he does like marine research and stuff now. He like owns a bunch of boats doing like deep sea research in New Zealand.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Keeping
he's
himself
weird,
busy.
but
He's not
to go with the knife collection.
Yeah, right. Steam, Valve has decided to produce some new hardware, and in a large capacity, and making quite the statement, I think, considering Xbox sounds like they're even considering getting out of hardware.
I mean, I think the important thing to say here is they finally counted to 3. They're making they're making 3 new things.
Uh-huh. Some of them are kind of connected though. Like, one's a controller. First, they already have the Steam Deck. One's a controller that I don't love the shape of. It looks really clunky.
So I think the controller is the one I'm the most interested in, actually.
Interesting. I am, that, Michael, about the Pro controller and my love of the Pro.
Yes. Well documented.
I don't know how I'm going to get convinced, especially having a Steam Deck. Michael, you have a Steam Deck. How often do you use those haptic pads?
It's a non-zero amount.
All right. Well,
but I won't
JJ,
say it's a large number.
JJ, tell us why you're excited for them, because I don't see it yet.
So here's the thing, right? Do you like the controls on the Steam Deck? Like for the non-haptic pad parts?
They're okay.
Okay.
I think the sticks are my least favorite part of it.
So you may be interested to know this is using different stick technology.
I heard that.
They are using a new technology, or new to me anyway, TMR, which is tunneling magneto something, magneto resistance, something like that.
They're Hall magnetic sensors, right?
They are not Hall effect.
Oh,
This is the new technology. The name of it is TMR. I don't remember what it stands for.
okay. So they're better than Halls, maybe?
Supposedly, they are less prone to drift than Hall effect sensors and
I thought Hall
are
effects didn't get drift.
lower power, which is the important thing for a small little controller.
Okay. It looks huge.
Tunneling magneto resistance is the name of it.
Okay.
So anyway, so I think part of it is you guys aren't playing PC games with this controller on the Steam Deck, right? Like, have
Probably
you tried to
not,
play,
right?
You haven't tried to play Civ, right?
No, I would never. It's too much. It's too fiddly. It's too ticky tack, in my opinion.
So one of the very cool demos, and I don't know if you guys got to see any of the literature or videos about this thing. One of the best demos I saw was a guy using the Steam controller. There are new Steam input bindable, I don't want to say buttons, but inputs on the backs of the controller, on the grips. Not where the buttons are on the bottom.
Not the back paddles.
There are no paddles. There's buttons back there, like the Steam Deck has, right?
But like in essence, the paddle controller style of buttons that are back there, that like on the Steam Deck, there are 4 of them.
Correct. There are four on this as well, but this is not what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about the gyro, the grip-enabled grip sense? Is that what we're calling it?
So the grip, the sense part of the grip is the thing that's new. The controller can tell if you're holding it by the grips or not. And you can use that to trigger actions in Steam, like in the Steam input scheme. So you can do, say, like, oh, if I'm holding it in 2 hands, here's how I want the controls to work. Or if I'm holding it in 1 hand, I want to do something else. And the thing the guy was showing was that if you held it in 2 hands, you could use it like a standard controller. All the buttons are enabled and whatever. And when he holds it in 1 hand, you can use the gyro inside the controller like a pointer for the mouse on the screen.
Interesting.
And then, you can click better. A. And so then you're pointing on the screen to the thing and clicking A, and it's clicking. Which is wild. Most of the stuff I saw, and there's no there's no light bar, there's no sensor thing for this, so it's all, I don't exactly understand how it's, determining where the thing points, but, it worked very well according to the people that, demoed it. So it's wireless. It has like its own little charging thing. It doesn't use, it has Bluetooth available if you want to use it, but it does not require you to have Bluetooth. It uses its own little proprietary connection thing between the charging stand and your computer. So if you don't have Bluetooth in your motherboard, say like me,
Bluetooth is slow. I mean, they have gotten better at pulling Bluetooth better, but those little dongle connectors are always better and faster.
Yeah. So this thing has its own little thing, and it's just USB charged. It's a charger stand as well as the connector.
In the ad, they say that the other part of this announcement, the Steam, what do they call it? The Gabe Cube, the Steam box, the Steam
machine.
Steam machine, yeah. Gabe Cube is the correct name, though.
Has that wireless built in.
Correct. There is a little one of those dongles integrated in the side of the box so that you can, pair the controllers automatically without having an extra dongle.
Yep.
You can't use it for charging, though, obviously, because you need the little pads on the thing to charge it. But the controller comes with one of them, so if you need the charging thing, you got it. And I guess that's a good segue into the Steam machine then.
For sure.
So as alluded to, this thing is GameCube sized, hence the Gabe Cube. But it's just like it's a little box, man.
It's cute. It reminds me of when I tried to build a micro ITX PC.
I think that is like a good, similar thing to this. This is using a AMD CPU and a GPU based on RDNA 3, which is like not the same, but of a similar kind of nature of the ones in the current generation of consoles.
Uh-huh.
I think they said it's 16 gigs of RAM and 8 gigabytes of video memory, which are like the big touch points for, a computer these days.
Right.
The big question about all this, of course, is like, and then there's 2 models. I think they said it's like
512 and 2 terabyte.
There you go. Yes, thank you, Michael.
Yep.
This thing seems like it is the perfect solution for someone who wants a little PC that just doesn't do anything. Of course, they're like, hey, it runs, the OS you can boot into or install Windows or whatever the heck you want. It's your PC, do whatever you want with it. But by default, it just boots up into Steam. You're in Steam OS, like the deck.
And away you
games. Away you go.
Yep. That's the best part of the deck for sure, right? Like,
yes,
we modded our deck, the podcast deck, to go in and play other games inside of Steam, but it still boots up into Steam, as the base option.
And I think,
which is great.
Obviously you need a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse and all that stuff if you want to do that stuff. But it seems like, if you have the controller, all you need is a monitor, really.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're willing to stay within the Steam OS part, it seems like the perfect solution to your little, like, I want a computer that can't do very much problem, Andy.
Yeah, how much does it cost is one of the big questions.
Yeah, so that is going to be a question mark, and no one knows because they have not announced.
Because those little laptops we ended up buying them were like $250.
So it seems unlikely that it will be that cheap.
It's too designed. You know what I mean? The little working LED light that you can customize and all that sort of stuff. It's design costs money.
Also, like, the hardware internals cost money, and they seem to be more powerful probably than those laptops you got.
100%, yes. But they need it for playing Minecraft, and that's about it.
So, I think if your kids ever want to get into like more serious gaming, this is a pretty sweet idea.
Beginning of the road for sure.
And if you even 512 gigs, you can install quite a few games as long as you're not installing Warzone.
Yeah, I finally actually uninstalled Warzone for real. Like, it's no longer on my computer at all. Goodbye. Good riddance.
But, I'm just saying that, we'll see what the price of this stuff comes out to be. I think it's like really cool looking. And, the people are making the discussion, well, is it more or less powerful than a PS5 or whatever? But I think, like, hands down, kind of, it looks way better than a PS5.
It's smaller,
it's like
probably,
way
in a weird
smaller.
way.
It's like a 6-inch cube. Yeah, it's tiny.
I was like, is someone going to mod a handle onto this thing? And then...
yeah, somebody's going to have a replacement case for it, right?
Oh, they're already selling those. I saw someone had already made a companion cube one, because of course, right?
Of course. Why wouldn't they sell that? So silly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You didn't even talk about the other third piece of hardware, though, JJ.
Well, the other one is the one I am least interested in.
I don't know why they made this.
The Index is very popular, their current VR headset. And this is a new VR headset called the Steam Frame. It's a standalone VR thing, so you can, it has a computer on the front of it. It plays games internally in the headset. You don't have to have a separate PC.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the Index where you do. But, it doesn't have any of the, like, you need to set up a room. It does all that stuff itself. You just need the little thing and plug it in, and you're good to go.
Right.
They did try to emphasize a lot that, like, hey, this thing is cool because, it just plays games. You don't have to actually, like, have VR games. You can just play normal games in this headset.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, like, pretend you're sitting in front of a giant screen while you're sitting in your VR headset, you know?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to sit in a VR headset ever.
Yeah, it's kind of my deal. But, you know, people that tried it said it was cool. I don't know. Like I said, this was the least exciting part of the whole thing to me. Valve seems pretty invested in the VR stuff. The tech behind it is cool. But
It did have some interesting solutions to some problems within the tech, right? So it's got dual radios so that you're not competing for bandwidth.
Oh yeah, the same kind of connection that it uses to talk to the controller is the connection it's using to talk to your PC. So if you're streaming games from your PC or whatever, there is no, like, you don't have to have a good Wi-Fi signal. You don't have to have Wi-Fi at all.
Right, because the second radio that covers the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So like that's an interesting solution, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you can use Wi-Fi, I guess. But again, you know.
Yep. And then what else was I reading about that seemed interesting? The variable pixel density that follows you around based on eye tracking.
Oh, I
So
saw
it
that.
makes the image sharpest where you're looking at the screen.
Kind of like what your eyes actually do naturally.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Yes.
So a lot of VR stuff has been doing this thing for rendering. Like they only render stuff you're looking at. You know, because like, well, why should they render the part of the screen you can't see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's sensible.
Mm-hmm.
But in VR, they're you know taking it to the next level where they're saying like, okay, we're gonna render the part you're looking at, but like the part you're actually focusing on, because they're looking at your eyes and telling what you're seeing.
Yep.
Well, like we're gonna render that at like 4K, and that part that's in the peripheral vision, it's maybe 1080p or less, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Foveated. That's what it's called, apparently. I had never heard that word before. Foveated rendering.
yeah, so foveated rendering, and then this is like the next level of that, where they're also scaling the pixel density based on where you're looking.
Yeah.
Like it's cool VR tech, but yeah, I'm not super interested in VR, which I think is probably most people.
Yeah. I don't know how they make money on VR, but they do. Somebody do.
So like, I want to hear from you guys. What is any interest in any of these products at all? I know you guys already got the Steam Decks and you're happy with those.
I would give that controller a try if it came back with rave reviews, but some of the tech in there reminds me of the PlayStation controller, where it's like, this is cool, but no one's going to use it, and I don't know that I ever really want to play Civ 7 with a controller. So I'm left with like maybe the Steam machine is the most interesting as like a home set-top box that can do anything on my other TV. But I'm kind of in the like, this is a little bit not exactly up my alley anymore. Some of this stuff. I've kind of got my set hardware niches.
I think the nice part about it being Steam and using Steam input, right, is it doesn't require any developer support. Like all these things are bindable buttons in the interface. You can just go in the controller settings yourself and set this stuff up if you want. Or, go to the wisdom of the people who have played these games before and set them up in ways that make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to be using the, gyro aiming or whatever pointing stuff, you can go in there and configure it and it'll just work. So regardless of whether they support it or not. Because, as far as the game is concerned, it's just getting inputs. It doesn't know, what buttons you're pressing or what actions you're taking.
Fair enough.
So I think it's, it's cool, but you're correct. Like who's building a like Steam controller specific feature into their game? No one is doing that.
Right. And knowing how finicky those little trackpads are, while they are usable and do what they say they do, it's still touchy. So
yeah, I think, obviously I have a big PC at home that I use, so I don't have a ton of use for the Steam machine. I think it's cool. I'm very curious to see what sorts of little like hardware mods and like shell replacements and stuff people come up with for that thing.
Yeah.
But the controller is the one I'm the most interested in. But I think, the big question mark is going to be the price, right? They haven't announced price for any of this stuff. If this controller comes in at $80, like hell no, right?
Mm-hmm. Could be bad.
So we'll see.
Yeah, could be bad.
I gotta imagine the PC is not going to be like, because how much is a Steam Deck? You guys know how much a Steam Deck is these days?
Like $600, maybe less.
Okay,
$549.
So like $549 to like $700 probably for the top end one, right?
I believe so.
So you gotta imagine the Steam machine, which they say is 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, can't possibly be coming in like at a cheaper price point than the deck.
It might be easier to manufacture though.
Yeah, I guess
it doesn't come with controllers. Right? You got to buy the controllers separately, which is going to be $100.
You also don't have to. You probably don't have to spend as much on the battery for it, right? Or because
there's
no battery, right?
Yeah.
It's a power unit that you plug in.
I think you're looking at a PC, right? Like they tout it as like a gaming machine, but you're looking at what is essentially just a personal computer.
Their marketing calls it a PC.
So that's a lot easier to build than a purpose-built gaming handheld.
Sure.
I would guess it's still more expensive. I would guess it's $800.
Yeah, I think I was coming in the $700 to $800 range was my guess. People were like, "Oh, it's going to be cheaper than the consoles," and I'm like, I don't see that happening.
Why would they price it cheaper than a console? It does more than a console.
Well, I was going to say, like, what is the going rate for a comparable gaming PC that's going to be able to play, all the things that people are going to want to play on this?
Yeah, I think people have done that specking out, and stuff is weird right now because, of course, the market is on fire, and you can't just like buy stuff for normal prices anymore.
Right.
Like friggin' RAM is $1 million now when it should be.
Yeah, I saw there was a video about why that's happening, but I haven't actually watched it yet.
Hey, guess what? What do you think the answer is, Andrew?
AI scalping.
It's AI scalping. What a good job, dude. You're such a genius. So, memory prices are insane. Like you can't buy 2 sticks of memory, a 16 gigs set or a 32 gig set. The price is doubled in some cases or more. So it's hard to make a comparable thing. This is using laptop memory instead of like normal RAM sticks, but it's kind of close, whatever. But I think people have priced it out and they said it's like $1,000 to build one of these yourself.
Okay, so if they can get it out the door for $850, maybe.
But like that includes like you're buying a case, you're buying a power supply, you're buying all this other stuff. You got to buy monitors, you got to buy all these things, right? And like this thing doesn't have to include that stuff,
Right.
So yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if it was $700-800. That'd be my guess.
Nice. The base for the 512.
Yeah, probably
at the base. Yeah,
and then they could offer bigger ones or whatever for more. But also, if it is just a PC, bro, you could just go buy that SSD yourself and swap that baby out for the 2 terabyte one.
If it's not a soldered SSD.
I believe they're saying it's not, but
I would think
no one's done a teardown.
It's Valve, and I would assume that they would not do that. I'm just saying, it's so small. There's a chance.
Yeah, there is.
It's not a swappable situation.
I think people have said they've done swaps on Steam Decks, right? Like you can open it up and swap the thing out.
But it's just a normal SSD that's plugged in. So I mean, it's not the same one that's in your PC, but it is a purchasable standard size.
Yeah, so I think that's what people are expecting, and based on what they said. But again, you're correct. It's very possible. Who knows?
It's possible. But we need to talk about some other upgrades. Valve's upgrading their line of hardware, and gentlemen, we are not cut.
Oh, good to hear. I was very curious.
It is Rantasy Football time.
So Andy, again, refuses to answer our questions when we ask about what's happening in his league during the week in order to preserve.
Leaving us in the dark.
It comes off, frankly, kind of annoying because it's like, he just like ghosts us when we ask direct questions to him. So we'll get into the end of that, hopefully. So
This is it. There's no more weeks. This is the last week.
I was going to say, is it you and two other teams at this point?
It is me and one other team, and I
One
would
other
like to say it's been very funny in a weird way that the entire season we have finished second to last, I believe, every single week. If we finish second to last in a week with two teams, that means
you
we
lose.
win.
Yeah.
No, we win.
Oh, second to last. Yeah,
Second
that's
to
true.
last. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So maybe
That
we
would
can
be-
pull it off.
Oh, I see. Second to last is first when there's only two. I got it. Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I've texted you the remains of our team.
All right, I'm looking at it.
Devin Achen, who has carried this team all season, is now on bye.
Ooh.
Jamar Chase is suspended.
Mm-hmm.
We got some people in bad matchups, some people that have gone from hot to cold. We definitely have a lot of people that could be replaced. Here's some good news. We've got the most money. Here's the bad news. We're not the waiver priority. We're waiver 2. So we can't play the money game to get players easily.
Wait, why not?
Because that means we'll have to spend $2 to get our first waiver at least. And then we might get beat on our second waiver for $1.
Oh, okay. How much money do we have?
We have 3 and they have 0.
Okay.
Oh no,
But
that means we can spend. So wait. We have 3, they have 0. We can spend $1
can't spend any
for
money.
3 players.
You could spend $1 each for 3 players.
For 3 players.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Well, I've sent you the list of the people that were dropped. Jonathan Taylor's on there.
Who's Kyron Williams playing?
Kyron Williams is playing. Hold, please.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I've made a rather sizable list of people that could be picked up. A lot of people, but people like Saquon Barkley, but he hasn't done well most of the season.
He has been pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Kyron Williams has been all right. I mean, 16, 22, 17, but then he had an 8. Still pretty good, probably worth grabbing.
He's been doing great work for me. I have him on both teams.
We need to do beyond great this week. This guy got 215 points last week.
So here's the thing. The Eagles are playing Dallas.
Yeah, it's a division game.
I don't like division games. I think we
I don't
talked
either.
about this before. I
was going to say we need to get away from Jalen Hurts, actually. I think our plan to play Jalen Hurts is not going to work out. The good news is the opposite team is starting Josh Allen. There's no chance he's picking up anybody else.
Correct.
So we can choose any other quarterback in the entire league because he doesn't have a quarterback on his bench.
So now you got to look at matchups.
I'm thinking Drake May or Brock Purdy look pretty dang good.
Brock Purdy's playing against the Panthers this weekend.
Who's May playing against?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
I think I'd go with that. Drake May has been killing it, and Cincinnati does not have a good defense.
Hear me out. There's another option. Jacoby Brissett.
So, as a Brissett enjoyer in my league, let me discuss. Jacoby Brissett is the new incarnation of Blake Bortles.
Bortles.
Okay.
Do you know, for folks out there who don't know who Blake Bortles is, Michael or Andrew, can you guys explain?
Blake Bortles played for, what is it, the Jags?
The Jags.
The ultimate garbage time quarterback.
Yes. So, Arizona is a bad team at the moment. A lot of their players have been hurt. They are kind of just out there getting murdered for the first half of games. They were down 21 points at the half. And by the fourth quarter, we're down 30 points. And Jacoby Brissett had 8 points. He closed out that game with 20 points.
Uh-huh.
So I think there's now, he's done that 3 or 4 games in a row. So it seems to be happening,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to sling it because they're down. They got to throw. He can throw it to the guys that are open. Like, he's a competent NFL QB. I just don't feel like, he'll run a little bit. You'll get a few points off his legs. But I really don't.
Safe.
Yeah, I don't feel like he's the guy you want to go with. Like,
so that's the other problem I have with Lamar Jackson, who is listed as the number 2 QB this week after Drake May. He's on our bench. We could just slot him in and play him, but he's playing the Jets. It should be a good matchup. But the last 2 weeks, he's gotten 6 points and 18 points. That's not any better than Drake May. That's worse.
Yeah.
That's a rough one. So, but I think Jalen Hurts is not our answer.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think. I think your answer is probably Drake May. I mean, I think it's either you think this is the get right game for Lamar and he puts up like 35 points, or you go with Drake May. I think those are the guesses.
Yeah. So we know that we're spending $1 for Jonathan Taylor. I think we got to figure out where we're spending our other $2 on which 2 players and which 2 players we think he's going to go for off of these rosters, so he's not playing him against us.
Yeah, because like that's the other important thing, right? It's like whether you're going to play him or not, you don't want him to have him.
Right.
So yeah, you grab Taylor absolutely.
Ave, Kyron Williams is a pretty good one, maybe.
Yeah, what's his team good at? Like where are his needs?
I will give you his team here. Hold on. His team is pretty stacked. You think ours is stacked? His is stacked too. Josh Allen.
Should be.
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Rashee Rice. Jahmyr Gibbs. Derrick Henry. Trey McBride. Nico Collins. Justin Jefferson. Bijan Robinson. He's got Trayvon Henderson on the bench. George Pickens on the bench. Rico Dowdle on the bench. Devontae Adams on the bench. He might upgrade at the tight end spot. Trey McBride's pretty good.
Yeah.
But George Kittle's out there, and I would probably say Kittle's better than Warren and Bowers, who we have. So maybe that's one of our $1 upgrades.
Who's San Francisco playing?
Carolina.
Okay. They're probably going to put up points. Is Purdy playing again? Is he back?
Purdy is back. He's one of my 2 question marks at quarterback.
I don't think you play him, though.
No, but Brock Bowers managed to score points against Dallas because he had 12 targets.
Yeah, he is the offense on that team.
Cleveland is better than Dallas.
Yeah, I don't want to play Bowers against Cleveland.
Tyler Warren's going up against Kansas City. I'm not sure I want to play that either.
Yeah, you know what? I bet if you dropped Tyler Warren, he wouldn't play him, given that he has McBride.
Right.
And you could probably get, Kittle or someone else.
Yeah. So do we spend the $1 on the Kittle? Maybe. T. Higgins is out there also on the wire. Was dropped.
So I was going to say,
probably grab him.
Since Chase is out, Higgins is going to be force fed, and I think you should absolutely put a buck on him. It's like him and Taylor, and then who else?
Yeah. So we're putting $1 on T. I think that's not a bad idea. Who we dropping? We're probably dropping anybody on bye because this is the last week. So it doesn't matter if Lad McConkey goes to the wire.
Right. Same with Waddle.
Yeah. All right.
Achane served you well.
Oh yeah, Achan's staying on the roster until the last second here. He gets the honorary spot.
Good.
You got to dance with the one that brung you.
But yeah, I mean, so I guess the question is, do you think he's going to try and get Saquon Barkley? Is that where you want to go with your last $1? Obviously, he'll try and get Taylor, but you're going to take him, and you're going to take Higgins for yourself. The question is, do you want to try and block him?
I would rather he play Saquon Barkley, to be honest, over Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, or Jahmyr Gibbs. Saquon Barkley's going to have a bad game.
Yeah,
I think
it's tough.
He might sit Nico Collins because I think Nico Collins was on an injury report. Oh no, he practiced today. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm looking at rankings. Like, Gibbs is ranked higher than Barkley. But
Trayvon
McCaffrey,
Henderson, he's got him on the roster. Derrick Henry, he's got him on the roster.
Henry is ranked below all those guys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, maybe it's not worth the extra buck on him. And then, who's your last guy?
Kittle or Kyron Williams are my two arguments for $1.
Who the Rams playing again? Sorry, I asked this already.
I don't remember.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Chance that game ends up in a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe you go for Kyron because there's a high floor, and then you could slot him in one of your flexes or something
if I need it, and then hope we get Kittle off of waivers.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, here, check this out, right? Looking at your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing Emeka Ibuka over Kyron Williams this week?
Probably not.
So, I think that's an answer right there, right?
Yeah.
Because
Luka's starting to suffer from the fact that Tampa Bay has
nobody else.
Few offensive weapons.
So
the defense is just going to gang up on him.
We need Jonathan Taylor to slot into the empty RB slot. We need T. Higgins to get into our wide receiver slot. So we need Kyron Williams.
You only have one.
Because he's better than Javonte Williams. He's better than Zay Flowers. He's better than DeAndre Swift.
Definitely.
He's better than... Yeah, so we need Kyron Williams. That's the answer.
Okay, there we go.
I think so. Because I don't see... No, we're not playing Ashton Gianti. We're not playing Saquon Barkley. James Cook against Houston?
That was the other one I was going to mention.
So Houston's defense is pretty good, I think, though, right?
Yeah.
Like
they are.
They're not... Their team is not doing awesome, but I think
here's another option.
Their run defense has been relatively stout.
Yeah. We've got Stephon Diggs and Drake London also on this roster.
You do, or he does?
No, on the waiver wire. And
Drake London's hurt potentially, so I would not be playing him. Like, there's a very good chance he doesn't play.
Stephon Diggs had an amazing game last week, didn't he? Yeah, 19 points.
Yeah, so that would be an option if you want to consider stacking with Drake May, right?
Mm-hmm. I want to avoid stacking in case one of them has a bad game.
Well, you'd be having Nakua and Williams, so you're already looking at doubling up on a single offense, right?
Oh yeah, okay, good point.
I think you're at the point here where you need all the upside you can get to, and if a stack gives you like mega points, then you're in it,
So Stephon Diggs might be our target instead of Kyron Williams.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to like, who do you think is likely to get more points this week, right? Because that's the answer is now we don't care about like who's better or like.
What do we think? Do we think Stephon Diggs is better than T. Higgins?
What's the what points did Higgins and Chase put up last week?
Chase only put up 6.
I think Flacco did horrible also.
Flacco did terrible.
Higgins still put up almost 14.
So maybe the answer is not Higgins, and it's
who were they playing?
Stephon Diggs.
Who did Chase play last week?
Jamar Chase, you mean?
Yeah, who did he play?
They played Pittsburgh.
Okay,
should have been an easy game.
And this game,
division, right?
Yeah, division game, exactly.
Low scoring.
And so
this
who are they
game
playing?
Is New England. New England.
That's not a division game.
No, but you look at the way that May's been playing lately, and the Bengals might be playing catch up.
Yeah, which means Joe Flacco is going to sling it, and he's going to throw it to him in double coverage and YOLO.
Yeah.
Right, because T's the only offense, so he's going to get double covered.
And Joe Flacco will throw it to him anyway.
Now, Andy, something you could consider, a name you haven't mentioned yet, given how your lineup is looking to shake out. If you're feeling extra spicy, you could gamble on Matt Stafford, who has, I think I saw yesterday, he has
Oh,
7
boy.
touchdowns and no interceptions in the last 4 games.
He's
You've
also
got-
the league leader in touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, you've got Nakua, you've got probably Williams. So now you're looking at,
Game over,
You
though,
know.
if they have a bad game.
sure, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a spicy gamble, but
I don't think I believe they're
Tampa
going to
Bay,
crush Tampa Bay that badly, do
no,
I?
but I think Tampa Bay has a relatively soft pass defense.
I think he's right about that. And like, I think that game ends up in a shootout. Like, this is where like the gambling statistics are actually useful. Like, what does Vegas say the over under on that game is?
49 and a half.
What's the
All right.
over-under on the Drake May Cincinnati game?
I'm staring at exactly the same.
So those are probably the shootouts this week. Then is what they're
Yep.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they've got 4 games there.
You got to pick who you think is going to sling it more.
Oh, man. So we've got Stafford and we've got Drake May. Drake May is 33, 21, 23, 17. And Stafford is 37, 34, 34, 17. Man, Stafford might be the answer. Then we definitely don't want Karen Williams.
I think though the Patriots were playing some division games there. They were playing teams with good defenses, and the Bengals are not that, right?
Yeah. We're in a rock and a hard place here, gentlemen. We have the choices of everybody, but that means we have to make the right choices.
Mm.
You know?
I think this is like one of my, at this point, it is not about like who's good, who's bad, who's up, who's down. It's purely about the most. Like, all you want is just maximize, right? Like, you have effectively the entire NFL to pick from.
Yeah.
Get the guy that's going to get 30 points this week. Teteroa McMillan.
Teteroa McMillan got 33 points last week. And I
know. I played against him. I'm mad about it.
Dude, in my other league
I have him in both leagues. I've been waiting for that game that week all season.
In the other league, we never talk about because it's unimportant. I lost to a team that didn't play 2 players because I was like, that's baloney. Yeah. Well, we got our work cut out for us. I'll take all the advice and tell you how we did in the morning. And this week,
Good luck,
I will
sir.
give you full updates the entire time.
Thank you. Don't keep us waiting on tenterhooks.
Yeah. If people want to know how we did, no, they'll find out on the podcast. But if they have thoughts on the Steam hardware, JJ.
Yeah, they can send that to podcast@weweregamers.com. And we would love to hear their thoughts on the Gabe Cube and other devices.
And good luck with all your ant invasions, everyone. Let us know how they're going.